Thanks for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football, coming to you live from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. We hope to educate, inform, and entertain you with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find the show after it's aired live on a multitude of podcasting platforms, as well as right here on YouTube along with past shows. If you want to connect with us, just find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads. Those links will be down in the episode description. Remember to comment, like, and share this video. If you have thoughts or comments during the show, drop them into the live chat and maybe you'll see your name on screen. If you have questions and they are deemed appropriate, they'll be answered at the end of the broadcast. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode number 419 for November 11th, 2025. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. I am your host, retired Master Sergeant Randy Snow. On this week's show, the matchup is set for the 112th CFL Grey Cup game. There was a wild ending to the NFL game in Germany. And are the Jaguars moving to Orlando? But I'm not here all by myself. Across the internet from me, in another part of Kalamazoo, is my son, Adam.
Hi, howdy, how you doing? Hello, live chat. I see all you beautiful people in there today. I see Sea-Dog. I see Real Lancaster in there. I see Dale in there. I see you, Dale. There he is. Randy, a lot of thank you for your service from Dale, from Real Lancaster. I would like to tell everybody it was because Dad was trying to fit into that old Air Force jacket is why the show was delayed, but it was on my end today.
Well, I actually did try to put it on, and you're right. It's hanging there for a reason. But I did find this shirt that still fits, so I'm good. Got my retiree hat, got my retiree shirt. At least those still fit.
Yeah, look, I remember when you used to wear that all the time, growing up, not all the time, but we get to hang out with you on your base for like little bits of, here and there. Yeah. And appreciate all the men and women who serve across this country. There's a couple guys I work with who are in the military, I saluted them, thank them for their service. We thank everybody out there. If you served, guys, we appreciate you and hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful day.
It wasn't just me, your mom was wearing that uniform too for even longer than I did.
And that's how you guys met was through.
Yep. We met at the base. I did 21 years. She actually did 26 years. She was in a few years before me, and she stayed a few years after I retired. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot to be thankful for. If it weren't for the military, my folks wouldn't have met, and I wouldn't be here, and then the show wouldn't exist. And it also gave Randy technically your start in semi-journalism.
Yeah. If you want to throw that picture up that I sent you, I can go through some of the stuff that. Yeah,
look how young you were.
That's basic training, Air Force basic training in San Antonio, Texas, in 1981. It was a hot summer that summer when I was down there. You got a picture of me with an A-10 aircraft in Aviano, Italy. I was a gun mechanic. Well, not just a gun mechanic, but a weapons mechanic on the A-10 for 6 years. I got to fly in an A-37 once, which was a Vietnam era plane that we were the last unit in the country to have the A-37 Dragonfly. And when we were done with them, they sent them to El Salvador, and they're probably still flying them down there. I got to go on they called it an incentive ride because I was coming up for re-enlistment. So they were, giving guys incentive rides. So I got to ride in the jet. I actually loaded all the munitions on the jet that day because that was my job. I was a munitions loader. And I got to go up and actually see the rockets fire, the bombs drop, the strafing of the gun. And so you can see I got my helmet in one hand and I got my barf bag in the other hand. It was a wild ride that day, I'll tell you. And then the last picture is me when I started my third and final Air Force career, which was as a public relations specialist. That picture was taken in 2000. So, I had 3 different careers. I was a weapons mechanic for 16 years. I worked in deployment planning for 3 years, and then 2 years as editor of the base newspaper. So yeah, that's where
Yeah.
that's where the journalism comes in. I enjoy doing that quite a bit.
Yeah. So very, very, very thankful for you and your service and all that. Even Tim Capper in the chat says thank you, Randy. From a Canadian to an American, we appreciate that, Tim. And I know why Tim's waiting for us to talk about his Alouettes in the CFL.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
that's why he's here today. He wants to hear all about the big victory
Yeah,
by
go
the
Owls,
Alouettes.
go, he says.
And he was there and he was on TV.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
we know
was.
all about that. We've seen your posts.
We all know about it. Get your own show, Tim. Oh, wait.
He's got one.
He does.
2 of them, actually.
All right, Dad. What else we got on tap for today?
Well, let's see. I just got this in the mail the other day. This is the newest book from the Pro Football Researchers Association. It just came out on the 1964 Buffalo Bills. And I wrote a chapter in here about a wide receiver for the team that year by the name of Glenn Bass. I got to interview him a couple of times, and I'm trying to make arrangements. I talked to him on the phone just the other day. He's living down in Florida. I'm making plans to take a copy of the book down to him. He's in his 80s, but he still sounds pretty good. And I want to get his autograph and my copy of the book, give him a copy of the book. And so I'm trying to work out the details for that.
All right. I want to interrupt you real quick because thank you, Royce, in the live chat. Either my system is messed up or you are broadcasting in a different format today, vertical versus landscape. All right, I would like to address that. So I don't know what happened. I get into StreamYard today to set up the show with a bunch of new settings. That's also why the show was delayed, because I was also trying to do my normal stuff on top of trying to figure out what the heck's going on with StreamYard today to put the show up. So apparently there's 2 different formats, Royce, that went up live. I was checking it right before we went to air, and I was like, screw it, we'll fix it later. So there should be a horizontal stream, maybe. I don't know. It said there were 2 different streams. So I apologize to people who are watching on YouTube if you're on a different stream than you normally would. I don't know. Like I said, it caught me off guard going moments before, going live today. And so you still have the audio version. That'll still be like normal. But if you're watching live, we do apologize. We'll try to clean that up for next week because I didn't know that was happening. So thank you, Royce, for pointing that out. I wanted to bring that up as kind of why we were also delayed. And not because I also had to take a big deuce when I got home from work, and that delayed me a little bit.
You did not. You did.
You know what? I will plead the 5th on that one. But we can move the show along. We don't need to talk about that on a family-friendly show on this Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, yep. I got one other thing. If you want to.
Oh my God! Let's see. We're almost 10 minutes into the show. We're not doing plugs and all this other stuff. There's actual football to get to, Randy. What could you possibly need to talk about next? And in the chat, Royce, all good. Audio sounds great. Good. As long as the audio sounds good, Royce. What do you got there?
I just got this in the mail the other day also.
Oh, you finally got your legitimate package.
My legit off-the-wall package. I was going to open it right now if you don't mind.
I mean, I don't mind. I'm sure everybody in the live chat is on pins and needles. I'm really slow at opening packages. We could be here for another 10 minutes, everybody. This makes for, and if you're listening to the podcast feed, Randy is currently opening a package that says "off the wall" on it. Our friend Trey over there sending him a nice nifty gifty. What you got?
During this kid-proof packaging. Let's see.
Randy-proof more like.
Yeah. All right, there it is.
Okay, we got a legitimate off-the-wall T-shirt.
Yeah. I've been needing something new to wash the car with. So there you go. Yeah. No, seriously. Trey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not washing the car with that.
Hold on. There's got to be other stuff in that bag. Come on. What else is in there? And C-Dog in the chat. Let's go. Off the wall is awesome. What else you got?
Let's see. I got a business card, and I got a football card of Michael Bishop.
Oh, you got a Michael Bishop card. Hold on. Get that up to the camera. Come on. Get that right up there. I want to see it. Nice. A Grand Rapids Rampage Michael Bishop card. Pretty sweet.
And this one is Chris Jackson.
Oh boy, I remember that. I remember that Chris Jackson trade back in 2000. What was it? 2003, 2004. Oof.
Yep.
When we lost Clint Dolezal, not happy about it.
Yep. Then I got this nice little handwritten letter here. It says,
a ransom note?
Yeah, he says, Randy, you are the best. Adam would be nothing without you. All my love, Trey. So thank you, Trey. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I didn't see a $100 bill fall out of that. Yeah, Lancaster City Dragon Rats. Trey's the man. Is there a $100 bill in there as well? Clearly not.
No, but I did
Yeah,
get a
that's what I'm
sticker. So
Oh, nice. All right.
thank
Yeah,
you, Trey. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Trey does an awesome job. Obviously, if
He
you
does.
guys are a fan of our show, then we're big fans of Trey's and love everything he does over there. He's a class act operation over there. So,
Yeah,
Tim
keep up
says,
the good work,
correction,
Trey.
Adam would be without Randy. Thank you, Timothy.
Nah. All right, let's get into the regular show now. What is it? Half hour in? All right.
Oh, we're
Let's
11
see.
minutes in. Any more crap to unbox?
No.
Not the Trey stuff is crap. That's not what I'm saying. Okay.
I think I'm good for today. All right. Not only do we have this weekly podcast, but we also make YouTube content. We have now over 700 videos on our YouTube channel, with the newest ones being our NFL picks video for week 10 last week. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did real well, and you and Aaron did not do so well. So, yeah.
Oh, well, no one likes a bragger, but I'll let you get by with it on this Veterans Day.
Well, yeah. I mean, I only brag when I do good, so I rarely brag about my picks. Let's see. Next week, we're going to have episode 420, and let's see. NFL picks week 11 next week. I'm still working on my Have Grave Will Travel stuff. We got so many things going on here. I just haven't got around to recording that. And something else that we kind of teased a few days ago, Adam, you want to talk about our newest venture?
Yep, a little bit nervous about this. I'm sure that's why we got quite a few people in the live chat today. Again, appreciate everybody stopping by. As you all know, if you've been paying attention to our social media, to our YouTube channels, and our live shows the last couple of times we've done it, whether it's the live picks video last Wednesday or mine and my brother-in-law's show, Just Lying Around, we talked about how us here at the World of Football are partnering up with, right over here, the Michigan Arsenal of Arena Football 1. We're going to be teaming up with them and putting together something we think is pretty cool. And I'll talk about it more after this nice little teaser that we are very happy about, and be curious what everybody thinks. So without further ado, and to our audio listeners, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go to the YouTube channel to go see the video. But without further ado, guys, here you go. That's right, guys. Inside the Arsenal, the new show presented by the World of Football, all about the AF1's Michigan Arsenal. We got a show in the works right now. It might be out at the end of the week. We don't have a date and time just yet. Still a lot of moving parts, but there will be a show that we're going to host. We're going to get the owner, coach, players, probably everything in between as the show grows and evolves. And we got a lot of ideas and things going forward that we're happy to be partnering with the Arsenal with. They've been really good to us, really nice to us. And, they were really excited that when we talked to them about putting this show together. So there you have it. Inside the Arsenal will be coming to a YouTube channel near you. And it'll also be on our podcast feed as well if you need an audio version of that show. So
yeah,
we couldn't be more excited about putting this together.
It's not going to be live this week. We may do some live stuff in the future, but this one, episode 1, will not be live, but it will drop sometime this weekend.
We're thinking right now in the off season. We talked with Coach. He kind of wants to do like a bi-weekly kind of show in the off season, and maybe there'll be a coach's live Q&A at some point, or live Q&A with George Bradford, the owner of the team, or other players, other personnel for the Arsenal. The possibilities are endless, so we're very excited to be putting that out there. And when there's live shows, we'll make sure to let everybody know ahead of time so people can join in and ask questions and all that. And first one should be out later this week. Maybe we'll see. We're working on a light. I see. I'm reading some of the comments. We got a lot of cool not cool, but we got a lot of nice feedback from people. Sweet. Wow, that's cool. Unfortunately, Tim is pointing out something here that I don't know if we will have to revisit. He says inside the arse anal, you might want to reconsider that show name, maybe.
I didn't catch that.
I guess I didn't either, but don't worry, Tim, it'll be corrected before we get that up and running. So, yep, excited. We're very excited. Thank you, Sea Dog. Viking Wax Press, pretty sweet inside the Arsenal hype clip. I'll be watching. Yep. So we hope to get some new fans and maybe build this thing out and see what it becomes. Dale says in the chat, you're going to make me want to come down. Do you want an Arsenal game? I can't wait for this new show. So seems like we got some very excited people in the chat. We appreciate all the excitement. And that'll be out later this week. We'll just keep an eye on the socials. So that was our big tease.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the rest of this here. We're going to begin our show, our weekly tour around the world of football. And this week, we're going to start off in the Canadian Football League, where they had a couple of division final games over the weekend, both on Saturday. The first one on Saturday was the Montreal Alouettes defeating the Hamilton Tiger Cats 19-16. There was no scoring in the first quarter, and there were 3 field goals in the second quarter, which had Montreal up 6-3 at halftime. The two teams traded touchdowns in the third quarter, and Montreal still held a 13-10 lead at the time. And then Hamilton tied the score 16-16 with 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game, but Montreal kicker Jose Maltos kicked the game-winning 45-yard field goal as time expired for the win. You said you watched a good share of this game or some of this game?
Oh, so this is the one I missed. I missed the first game.
Okay.
We were out and about doing some stuff, but I caught the highlights, and I can't imagine how Tim's feeling. I mean, I guess I can kind of imagine how Tim's feeling. But that place was, I would have loved to have been in Hamilton for that game. I very excited for Tim. I kind of figured the Alouettes would probably win because of Davis Alexander and that hot streak he's on.
Yeah.
So, but to add to nothing, I think the CFL playoffs have been absolutely awesome. The last couple weeks, every game is not disappointed. It's been thrilling down to the end. And Tim says in the chat, he's there. He was there at the game. Al's beat Hamilton in the East Final for the first time in 55 years, 1970. And Tim, the fact that you got to be there in person to witness history is awesome. Like I said, I mean, we went to the Grey Cup last year, obviously. That's going to be a highlight of my football life.
Yeah.
But I think some of these playoff games, just to get to that game would be just as exciting, if not maybe more exciting to get to that game. And I'm sure Tim, a heck of an experience, no doubt. And to the last field goal, the script writers there in the CFL couldn't have wrote that better.
Yeah. Well, my question is Tim going to be at the Grey Cup next week now that his team is in it?
He probably had his Grey Cup tickets a while ago.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I really expected Hamilton to win that game. I mean, they were at home and they coming off a bye and all that. So I mean, it just seemed like they were destined to win that game. But boy, oh boy, Montreal made it rough for them. And this East Finals was a sellout. So I'm glad that Tim was able to snag some tickets to be there.
And
yes, I'll be.
And he says he will be in Winnipeg. So. Heck yeah, Tim. I'm a little bummed we weren't going to the Grey Cup again this year, but life and we got a bunch of stuff happening over here. So one of these years we'll get there again.
Yeah, I'd like to go to another Grey Cup. Hamilton still has not won a Grey Cup since 1999. That's kind of why I was pulling for them. They're the only team that.
Oh, don't tell that to Tim.
Well, they're the team that's gone the longest without winning a Grey Cup. So I was kind of hoping for that, but you can't discount Montreal quarterback Davis Alexander, now 13-0 as a starter. I don't know what to think about next week. I mean, you've got the immovable object and the unstoppable force, or however you say that. I mean, these two teams. This is going to be a heck of a Grey Cup game. I'm telling you.
We'll talk about their opponent here in just a second. Okay. I'm gonna read through some stats here in a second, but I do want to bring up. Tim said the game was bananas, as nuts as the 10-hour drive back home due to the snowstorms. Yikes.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Well,
I couldn't, man.
it's
I couldn't
Canada.
imagine that.
It's Canada. They've had their snow tires on for 2 months already.
I know we just got our first snow here in Michigan, or at least
Yeah.
where we live here, Kalamazoo. The other day I woke up to snow. I was like, ah, crap. I didn't even realize this was about to happen. I couldn't even find my snow brush day one. So, but anyway, let's talk about some stats.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And they say the snow is going to be gone in a couple of days, but boy, it's been nasty the last couple of days. Yeah.
It has been terrible, but just unexpected. Here's some stats. Montreal quarterback Davis Alexander, who is now 13-0 as a starter for Montreal, went 19 of 26 passing for 210 yards and a touchdown. He also threw an interception. He led the team in rushing with 64 yards. Wide receiver Tyler Snead had 3 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown, while kicker Jose Maltos was 4 for 4 on his field goals, the longest of which came with that 45-yard game winner. For Hamilton, quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell, who had an outstanding season, by the way. I don't want that to go unnoticed. Bo Levi played absolutely awesome this year. 29 of 36 passing for 269 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Hamilton running back Greg Bell ran the ball 10 times for 66 yards, and wide receiver Kenny Lawler had 9 catches for 117 yards. Kicker Mark Leggio for the Ticats was 3 for 3 on his field goals, the longest of which came from 49 yards. So, I mean, two good teams. I thought it would be a little more high scoring, to be honest with you, but still an entertaining game. Still came down to the finish. It's the kind of stuff you want in your playoff games, and the fact that this is what they needed, that field goal to go to the Grey Cup. I mean, it was awesome.
Yep. All right. The other game later on that Saturday night, the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeated the BC Lions 24-21. The only scoring in the first quarter was a rouge by BC, which gave Saskatchewan a 1-0 lead going into the second quarter. In the second quarter, BC led 7-4 at halftime, thanks to a 4-yard touchdown run by quarterback Nathan Rourke. That was a nice little scamper he had. He was looking for somebody, couldn't find anybody, and just said, "Yeah, I'll take it myself." So he did. Saskatchewan built a 14-7 lead at the end of the third quarter, and with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, BC led 21-17, but Saskatchewan scored the game-winning touchdown with 11 seconds on the clock as Trevor Harris connected with Tommy Neild for a 3-yard touchdown pass to win and send them to a win in the West Finals. I didn't get to watch either of these games live. I caught both of them, on the highlights, but man, it seemed like both of these games came down to the wire, and you didn't know who was going to win until the gun went off at the end.
I caught the Western final I think I was midway through the second quarters when I got around to it. I was doing dishes. I was able to watch and do dishes. And I'll tell you what, not a whole lot of dishes got done because I'm sitting there watching and I'd stop just to watch the game. But BC looked like they had a control on this game for a bit. I was really like, man, Saskatchewan going to pull it out. Second half, Saskatchewan, clawed back, made it a game, and it got real entertaining there down the stretch. And I didn't know who was going to win. Both teams had their opportunities at the end, which again is what you want in your playoff games. But it was Saskatchewan in the end that pulled it out. What an atmosphere there. I thought for sure Nathan Rourke was going to pull some sort of magic and finally go to his first Grey Cup, but it just wasn't meant to be. And that Saskatchewan team that we talked about I remember week 1 talking about that Saskatchewan defense, and here they are in the Grey Cup. So kudos to them. Kudos to all the teams for, 2 great playoff games this past weekend. And I'm sure we're going to be in for a very awesome Grey Cup next Sunday, which is going to be a long day of football, by the way, between having the NFL game in Spain and then the NFL slate of games. Then we got the Grey Cup. Our Lions also play Sunday Night Football, Dad. We are going to have a jam-packed Sunday next weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have the Grey Cup and the Lions game on recall because they're both going to be out at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, I hate having to watch the Grey Cup on my phone, but I'm sorry. The Lions will be on Sunday Night Football, so I'll have to have both games going. So, it should be an awesome Grey Cup. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. My one stat from this game is that Saskatchewan is heading to the Grey Cup for the first time in 12 years. That means they haven't been there since 2013. So it's been a long drought for them. They've been a really good team. They've been so close the last few years, but they finally broke through this year, and they're going to the Grey Cup.
Yep. And let's talk about some stats, shall we? Quarterback Trevor Harris for the winning Rough Riders, was 26 of 38 for 305 yards and 2 touchdowns, while running back A.J. Ouellette ran the ball 17 times for 113 yards. Wide receiver Samuel MLS had 9 catches for 100 yards, and kicker Brett Lothar made 3 field goals. For British Columbia, quarterback Nathan Rourke was 20 of 30 for 290 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns. Running back James Butler ran the ball 12 times for 58 yards, and wide receiver Keon Hatcher had 4 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. Setting up next week's Grey Cup game between the Montreal Alouettes and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This game will start at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So actually, Randy, we'll be able to catch at least most of this game before the Lions kick off at 8:20 Eastern time. But this game can be found on CBS Sportsnet here stateside.
Yeah. A few bit excuse.
Uh-oh. Yeah, have a drink of your water. I'll carry it from here. Randy needs me. All right, the CFL Grey Cup, guys, is officially sold out. Randy putting the notes in all caps. That is a big story. Of course, we knew that a while ago. I thought that they were sold out, but
I just heard that this past week, so I don't know how
maybe I'm wrong.
It's been sold out.
Okay. I thought I was sold out for a while. Sounds like you still got to clear that frog from your throat. But also some big news this week, a little bit shocking to me. The Red Blacks are signing Ryan Dinwiddie as their new head coach and GM through 2028. He was the head coach of the Toronto Argonauts from 2021 to 2024, posting a 51-35 record, winning 2 Grey Cups in that stint with the team in 2022 and 2024. He was named CFL Coach of the Year back in 2023 after leading the Argos to 16 wins in that 18-game season. Dinwiddie played quarterback at Boise State and went to play on for the NFL Chicago Bears in 2004 to 2005, the Hamburg Sea Devils of NFL Europe in 2005, the Blue Bombers of the CFL from 2006 to 2008, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders from 2010 to 2011. So that is the other big news. I didn't see that coming. So
no, I did not.
Man, he's still injured over there, right? Get that situated.
Okay.
I'll read some live comments. Kyle, brother-in-law, in the chat says, just mount another TV by your 75-inch to watch both games. Kyle, if I could, I would, but my wife probably wouldn't let me. And I don't think we have the wall space for a second 75-inch TV. C-Dog in the chat says, sold out. That's crazy. I don't think it's crazy, but I think it's awesome because those Winnipeg fans, were selling out all season long. I think they sold all their home games out. So I wasn't shocked that this game was going to be a sellout. Yep. Dale in the chat, he was pulling for Hamilton because they haven't won in a long time, but it's going to be a great Grey Cup. Yes, it is. John in the chat says, hey, guys, Mrs. John B. Jenkins is here. Say hi to her. Hi, Mrs. John B. Jenkins. That chat came in a while ago, but we'll say hi. We'll say hi. All right, Dad, what's next?
Now we're going to go on to NFL Week 10. And I'll let you go over those scores.
Okay, yeah, guys. NFL Week 10 was, once again, a great showcase for why none of us really understand the NFL, who's good, who's bad, and what's going to happen during these games. Look at my picks this week. Apparently, I did bad. I didn't even go look at them. Apparently, Randy did good. So we'll talk about that on the live show tomorrow. But for right now, we're going to talk about just an absolutely weird weekend again in the NFL. I honestly don't understand anything anymore. And that started on Thursday night as the Denver Broncos, wearing their great throwbacks, defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 10-7. I was watching this game, Randy, for a little bit, and boring is an understatement. I don't know if I've ever watched a game and have been so bored in my life. And we're going to talk about another game this week that apparently was the exact same way.
Yeah.
But all the primetime games stunk this week. It's just absolutely crazy. This game, it was 7-7 at halftime when I went to bed, and I found out they only kicked a field goal in the second half. What a dud. What a dud on Thursday night. You hate to see it for watching the games, but it's how it happens sometimes. And Denver gets the win. Denver 8-2. Good for them. They're looking pretty good and positioning themselves for their playoff push. But then we get to a game that I did watch all the way through, and this one was an entertaining one. As in Berlin, Germany, the Indianapolis Colts defeated the Atlanta Falcons 31-25 in overtime. This game was so much fun. The Falcons had the lead, and the Colts would get the lead. The Colts gave up like 7 sacks or something during this game. The Falcons, I thought, should have won this game, but then in overtime, they went like 3 and out, I think. Couldn't move the ball down the field. After some crazy nonsense at the end of the first half, with like the refereeing of this game. If you guys get a chance, go check out the end of the first or the regulation, and then the beginning of overtime, because they were having a bunch of issues figuring out how to end the half, then or the end of the regulation. Then you get into overtime. They announced the Colts as the away team, but Atlanta was the designated away team. They let the Colts call the coin flip in overtime, go to commercial. We come back from commercial, and now the Colts, who originally said they would receive the ball, are kicking the ball because they realized their mistake in the break. They re-coin flipped, which they did not show on air, and now the Falcons were receiving the ball. The announcers had to fill us all in. It was just absolutely crazy. Then after all that, Atlanta couldn't do anything. Give the ball back to the Colts. The Colts marched down the field. Jonathan Taylor had a heck of a day during that game. I'm sure fantasy owners are giving him 2 big thumbs up for his performance this week, but he pretty much sealed this game up. He went in for the game-winning touchdown. They only needed a field goal, but they were like, let's just keep running it. They couldn't stop him. He got into the end zone, and it was game over in Berlin. So that's how the NFL Sunday started. Then more craziness. The New Orleans Saints defeated the Carolina Panthers 17-7. A Panthers team that just beat a 1-loss Green Bay team and then lose to a 1-win Saints team. It doesn't make sense. But the Saints did look good doing it. They were wearing their all whites with the white helmet. I approve of this look. And we'll highlight some of the guys, your chats here in a second. Let me get through some of the games, and we'll highlight what people thought about some of these games. Then the Chicago Bears defeated the New York Giants 24-20. I really don't care about the Bears. I think they're frauds. The Giants also stink. And because of this game, Giants fired head coach Brian Daboll, which I think is one of the stupidest coach firings they could have done. I think the problem in New York with the Giants is not Brian Daboll, or was not Brian Daboll. It is their GM. The GM has been a problem ever since I watched that Hard Knocks off season with the Giants last year. I didn't trust this guy. This guy I'm shocked that dude wasn't fired. Joe Shine, or however you pronounce his last name.
I don't know.
Brian Daboll was not the problem, I think. Him and Jackson Dart were just kind of getting their chemistry going, and then get rid of the coach. Like, it's a baffling decision. And now the Giants, I don't know if they're throwing in the towel the rest of the season, but boy, yes, thank you, C-Duck. He also agrees that the GM in New York is the problem. Let's see. Going back to the scoreboard here, Dad, feel free to jump in with your thoughts at any point.
Well, I was gonna read a little bit about Brian Daboll. If you want to
go for it.
Yeah. He was 2-8 this season. This was his 4th season with the team. His overall record with the Giants was 20 wins, 40 losses, and 1 tie. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka is going to be the interim coach for the team. That's really all I had. It took me as a surprise. I mean, I guess if you lose to the Bears, I think, didn't Al Bundy say that if you lose to the Bears, or no, it was the Rams, I guess. But
it was back when the Rams stunk.
You lose to the Bears and they kick you out of the league. But you lose to the Bears and your coach gets fired.
Well, I saw a crazy stat that said that this is the 3rd time the Giants have lost to the Bears, and then after that fired their head coach.
Wow.
So the Bears have caused 3 Giants coaches to get fired. So I wish I had that tweet in front of me, but I stumbled upon that the last couple of days, and I was like, that's wild. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
But so I think they made the wrong decision, and we'll see how it plays out for the Giants the rest of the year. All right, moving along the slate, the Houston Texans defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 36-29, and another shocker, the Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills 30-13. What? Like, a Buffalo Bills team that just beat the Chiefs. Now they lose to the Dolphins. This is part of the I can't make heads or tails of this league that I just can't wrap my head around this year. Just absolutely wild. I watched a little bit of this one as the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Minnesota Vikings 27-19. It didn't feel as close as this final score was. I think the Ravens are, I won't say they're back, but they are trending in the right direction. They could still make the playoffs now. They started 1-5, and they're getting hot, and they're starting to look decent. They're putting a lot of things together. They're stacking wins. So watch out for the Ravens. I would not be surprised if they even come back and take their division over. It is a real possibility here. So the Ravens could be a fun watch the rest of the season. Let's see. The New York Jets got their second win in a row after trading away a couple of great pieces of their team. So people thought, oh, here we go. The fire sale. They're throwing in the towel. But then they came up against the lowly Browns and got a victory as they beat the Browns 27-20 in a game that I another stat I saw was something along the lines of the Browns held the Jets offense to under around 150 or under 150 yards. I forget the exact stat. And it's the first time ever that a team's been held to that few of yardage and won the game. So now the Jets are that one. It was like 230-0. If that happens, you win the game. Now the Jets are that, or the Browns are that one. They're that one outlier now that have allowed that to happen. Just absolutely crazy. Again, I need to start screenshotting some of these things I see when I'm scrolling through Twitter after games.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Patriots won the Tom Brady Bowl over the Buccaneers 28-23. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Arizona Cardinals 44-22. Matt Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams defeated the San Francisco 49ers 42-26. And the crazy stat from that game, I don't know if you saw, Dad, and I only bring this up because Stafford obviously used to be Detroit Lions quarterback. Now has, for the first time in his career, a record of 500.
Yeah.
What was it, like 115-1?
Yeah. I did see that. So,
absolutely crazy. We apologize for wasting a lot of good years of Matthew Stafford. We knew he was a good quarterback and that he was never the problem here in Detroit.
Absolutely. We hated to see him go, but people say, we always knew that Stafford was a good quarterback. No, the media did not know he was a good quarterback because they hounded him and they dogged him for all of his years in Detroit. And then he gets to LA and like, oh, wow, he's really good. Yeah, well, we knew that, but the media did not.
So, I want to apologize to Matthew Stafford for your terrible record. We had a terrible organization. So he was in a great organization for 2 weeks. He had Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell there for 2 weeks before they made the trade. And it's all worked out, I think, so far. But it does bum me out that Stafford's record, it should have been a lot better. And could you imagine Matthew Stafford with this Lions team? I know it's if, ands, and shoulda, couldas, and wouldas, but I think Stafford, if he would have stuck with Detroit, he might have actually gotten back up to that 500 record.
Well, they wouldn't have all the players they've got without losing
also
Stafford.
True. Also very true. Man, you're just getting choked up over there today.
I may have to leave and go get a soda because the water's not doing it. I need something more. So how many more scores you got to go?
I got a couple more NFL scores. Why? Do you want me to vamp?
I'll be right back. You just keep going. I'll be right back.
All righty. I'm going to put you away for a second. It's just going to be me with you lovely, lovely people till Randy gets back. Let's talk about some more scores here while Randy's away. Then I'll read all your guys' comments. How does that sound? That sounds like a great proposition to me. All right. Of course he walks away for the Lions beating the Commanders 44-22. I'll wait for Dad to get back. We'll dive into that one with Randy a little bit because I want to ask him some questions about that. Your Sunday night game saw the Los Angeles Chargers defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 25-10. And then in Monday Night Football, if you were even able to watch this game, guys, because I don't know, I have YouTube TV or someone who's got a YouTube TV account that I watch the games on. I can't get Monday Night Football. So it sounds like they did me a favor by me not catching this snooze fest of a game, which the Eagles won 10-7 over the Green Bay Packers. And that'll round out the scores for this week. Let's see, rolling back through, guys. Let's see what some of you all had to say about the week. Dale, sorry, I didn't skip over. He says, just skip over the Bills score altogether. They didn't even show up for that game. Yeah, it was a rough one, buddy. You're going to have to explain to me what the heck happened because I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Real Lancaster, he went 10-4 this week in his picks. We'll save that for tomorrow night, bud. You can brag, and we'll talk about where you stand tomorrow night during our weekly NFL picks segment. Dale, also went 10-4 this week in his picks. Again, tomorrow night, guys, we will talk all about your picks. Real Lancaster, again, Atlanta this season seems to be the most unluckiest team we have seen in a long time. Always in the games, but always comes up short. Yeah, they've been a roller coaster all year. And I can't make heads or tails of the Falcons. One week they look awesome, and the next week they look terrible. All right, looks like Randy's come back. He's got his sody pop with him. You feeling better? All right.
Yep.
All righty. Let's see. One question before I ask you a question, Dad. Who do you think is the team to beat in the NFL right now? It's a good question. It's a toss-up. I don't understand any of these teams. One week I'll say it's probably the Eagles, but then the Eagles played like they did last night.
Right. I think the Rams are getting hot right now.
Rams are.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the Rams.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the Rams. Dale asks, Adam, to answer your question, the Buffalo Bills got outplayed in all three phases of the game. They also got outcoached. All right, so that's what happened to the Bills. Dad, I lightly skipped over the Lions game because I wanted to talk to you about it because we haven't talked about the Lions game. We didn't even text, I don't think, during this game. But what were your thoughts on the Lions-Commanders game?
I thought it was a nice bounce back. They needed a game like this where they could bounce back against a team that's kind of struggling, and they looked really good. So the fact that Campbell was actually doing the play calling surprised me quite a bit.
Yes,
but I think he's sending a message that this team can be good if it's coached up right, and he's going to do whatever it takes. If he needs to call plays, he'll call plays. But he knows what they can do, and who better to call plays than him. So I think maybe he and his offensive coordinator, play caller, just need to get on the same page. They, things have been going really good this season, but they have had a few games where they just didn't know what they were doing in certain situations, and so Campbell took the bull by the horns and did that. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was quiet all week. Everybody kind of during the game was like, "Wait, is he calling the play?" So it was a whole thing. It became a big media thing. I don't think it's a super big deal. While it is a big deal, not as big a deal as I think as some of the media are putting out there. I think Dan, like he said, he was very nonchalant about it in his press conference, and he was, if he was throwing Morton under the bus, he wasn't about to do that.
Not in the press conference. He's not going to do that.
Maybe in the short term he'll keep calling plays, but I think this, Morton's still getting a handle on the team. I don't think I'm hitting the panic button just yet. But it was nice seeing Dan go, this is what we're capable of, and this is what I want us to do. Morton, give me your input, take notes. Dan's a teacher, and I think that was a teachable moment for him and his coaches, and I think that's a sign of a good coach is when he knows or feels like he's got to do that. I mean, he wants to trust in his coaches. I don't think he's never wanted to have to take play calling away from him, but he had to do what he had to do, and I applaud that.
Yep.
So that was like the one big story from the game. The other big story, otherwise you see this score and you're like, Lions, Commanders, like what's there to talk about other than us being Lions fans? Well, there's actually a couple other things to talk about. The other thing being Payne, the defensive player for the Commanders, getting suspended for a game after throwing a punch at Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on our live show with Kyle, I said, if it happened, there's got to be a video of Amon-Ra instigating it. It's coming out soon. I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's about to come out. And today, sure enough, there is.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You've seen the video?
No,
I saw this video.
I
wouldn't call it a punch per se, but I could understand why Payne was upset. I'll give him that. Because it looks like from the angle that I saw, you see Amon-Ra's front, but you see the other player's back. And you do see Amon-Ra's hand go like this. It did seem it was more of like a shove, open-handed, not really a punch, but kind of like a shove, get out of my face kind of thing. And then that must have sparked whatever happened a couple plays later. So he wasn't lying when he said Amon-Ra punched him. Well, I don't think it was a punch, but there was something there.
Sure.
So interesting there. He got ejected. Another player got flagged for hitting a referee. A Commanders fan got tackled by security for jumping onto the field. Just absolutely wild out there in Landover, Maryland.
Yeah.
And then on top of all
things
that,
happen.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, you say first.
Oh, I was going to say, funny things happen when the president shows up to a game. All kinds of weird things happen.
Yep, that's where I was going to next because the president was there. Yeah, President Trump was there. He what was the word? He not initiated, but he swore in a bunch of recruits.
Yeah.
At
He
halftime.
administered the oath of office, or the oath of he swore them in.
Yeah, and look, guys, politics aside, we try not to get political, have those kind of opinions go out here on the show. There was a lot of booing when he was doing that, and I do feel bad for those cadets going in. That's how that went down. I think that's very unfortunate. Like I have my feelings. That's not what you do, and I feel bad for those recruits. That moment was kind of ruined by that.
Yeah, I mean the booing. I watched the whole game, and they didn't show any of that, on TV.
Right, of course not.
You didn't hear about that till later. So that was only stuff that people that were at the game knew at that time that was going on. But
then also, and also regardless of your political affiliation, I will admit it was cool to see a president in the booth of a regular 4:00 game, called a couple plays. I'm not going to critique how he did, but the fact that he did it was cool. How often does a president even go to a regular season NFL game like that? I think they said that's the first time since 1970.
It's only happened twice before. Nixon did it back in 60 something, and
60s.
Who was the other one?
Was it Jimmy Carter? I thought that was the other one I heard.
Jimmy Carter, yes, in the 70s, 76 or 78. I don't know.
So it's not something that happens a whole lot. So I mean, I'll acknowledge that for the historical thing. Like we had a president at a Lions game, which we blew the doors off of the Washington team, which is awesome. All right. All right, so that's it for the scores. I already went through the last couple scores, Dad. You don't have to talk about them if you don't want to.
Okay, well, then the last thing is the little story about the Jags. Possibly moving to
the comments. Okay.
Yeah, we teased that in the opening of the Jags moving to Orlando, and even I didn't know what the story was. You told me to say to put that in the opening, and I didn't even look it up until just before we went on the air. I didn't even know what you were talking about. But here's the story: the Jaguars are going to play the 2027 season at Camping World Stadium, while the regular stadium, Everbank Stadium, undergoes a $1.4 billion renovation. It should be done in time for the 2028 season, but still 24 of the 32 team owners, that's 75%, have to approve this temporary relocation, and a vote is expected when the league holds a virtual owners meeting December 9th and 10th. So, I mean, it's probably a foregone conclusion, but it's got to be approved by the other owners.
Right. All right, and that's that story. All right, the last couple of things. I want to hit the comments, then we'll move on. Let's see, going back to the question we had earlier about who do people think is the best team in the NFL right now. Dale in the chat says he thinks the Seahawks are the hottest team. C-Dog thinks the Rams are the Colts. And then Viking Wax Press thinks the Seahawks are rolling. They're his pick to surprise the world. In the AFC, he thinks the Broncos look rough, but just find a way to win. And he thinks that continues. So it's at this point, it's anybody's guess.
Right.
So, all right. That's it for the NFL scoreboard, Dad. We're going to throw it back to you for college scores.
Yeah. Week 11 in college football, and we're going to start with the top 25 at the FBS level. Number 1, Ohio State improved to 9-0 with a 34-10 win over Purdue. Number 2, Indiana also improved to 9-0 with a 24-17 win over Penn State. And number 3, Texas A&M also improved to 9-0 with a win over number 22 Missouri, 38-17. Number 8, Texas Tech upset number 7 BYU, 29-7. That was the first loss for BYU this season. Let's see other scores. Wake Forest upset number 14 Virginia, 16-9. California upset number 15 Louisville, 29-26. Wisconsin upset number 23 Washington, 13-10.
I can't believe you just blew past that Indiana Penn State game, Randy. I can't believe it. Yes, thank you. C-Dog even in the chat said that Indiana game was wild at the end. So obviously we've talked about my cousin Nathan, who's on the sidelines there for IU, and they've had an outstanding season. My cousin or his mom, my actual cousin, so he's like the second cousin, texted me and said, "Did you see the game? It was crazy." And crazy it was. I watched those highlights. I couldn't believe it. What a finish there. Penn State gave them a run for their money. But that's right, Lancaster. Catch of the year there at the end. That catch has got to be the play of the year. Am I right? Like, that was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, but you sent me a video and you made me watch it. It was like 13 minutes of highlights from that game, and I watched the whole thing. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I got to admit
Indiana
that.
football has been awesome this year. I'm rooting for them, obviously, to go all the way. They are on a collision course in that Big Ten championship game to take on Ohio State, and oh boy, let's get there. I am so excited for that. And C-Dog agrees. That catch was insane. So sorry, I just had to interrupt because I was like, wow, we need to give that Indiana game and that catch its due. So let's see. Real Lancaster in the chat says, I haven't seen a play that close since that Lynn Swan catch where he hovered out of bounds and then back inbounds to make a catch. I believe that happened in 1978.
I know the play you're talking about. Adam probably doesn't, but I know that.
I'm sure I've seen the highlight, but I'll let you continue with the scores.
All right. So moving on to some other FBS scores. Western Michigan was off last week. They did not play, but they are playing tonight here in Kalamazoo against Ohio. Week 12 Maction kicks off tonight in Kalamazoo. So, yeah, we don't have tickets for that. And too bad there's snow on the ground. It might keep a lot of people away. But, man, that's Tuesday night football in Kalamazoo. It doesn't get any better than that.
It could get better. You know how? If they make a deal with us and we do the podcast live from a Tuesday night Maction at Waldo Stadium, let's make it happen, Broncos.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, and the rest of the scores today, I have a bit of a theme, and I'll let you see, Adam, if you can figure out what that theme is. All right, some other FBS scores: North Carolina over Stanford, 20-15. East Carolina over UNC Charlotte, 48-22. West Virginia over Colorado, 29-22. Eastern Michigan over Bowling Green, 27-21. SMU, that's Southern Methodist University, over Boston College, 45-14. And Coastal Carolina over Georgia State, 40-27. In the military academies, it was Army over Temple, 14-13, and a real squeaker. Air Force over San Jose State, 26-16. And number 10, Notre Dame over Navy, 49-10. I didn't want to gloss over that in the top 10 scores, or top 25, but I put that down in the military academies. So you see my...
Okay, I was going to say, I did see it. I was waiting for the pause so we could talk about it. Then we could have hit the military academies because even Real Lancaster in the chat realized Northwest, East, South. We're talking about the directionals, except for Coastal. That's not a direction, Randy.
Well,
so there's a flaw in your...
If you're on the coast, you know what direction it is. The coast is over there, so that's where they're at. And I'm going to continue that for all my other scores too, where I can. All right, let's continue. Let's see.
Yes, I can't wait to hear about East Yale.
One news item.
Or West Harvard.
Yeah. One news item. There are now 3 undefeated teams left after week 11. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, all 9-0. The only 3 undefeated teams left at the FBS level. It was 4 last week. BYU lost, of course. All right, so now let's move on to the FCS, where you had Northern Arizona over Northern Colorado, 49-10. In the Ivy League, it was Yale over Brown, 34-22. In Division II, it was Northern Michigan over Davenport, 47-45. Division III, it was Alma over our beloved Kalamazoo College, 53-3. Oh my gosh, what a spanking. But a bonus score, Western New England over Maine Maritime, 70-7. Woo, talk about a beatdown. Let's see. Let's go to some NAIA scores. One of the teams we always talk about, St. Francis of Indiana over St. Francis of Illinois. So it's St. Francis against St. Francis, 42-24. And a bonus score, Northwestern Iowa over Doane of Nebraska, 51-20. Let's go on to the junior college level. Snow College over Monroe University, 49-14. And, last week we had that short where I talked about how last week they beat up on, what is it, Community Christian College. 101-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
I had the wrong community Christian college. There are actually 2 of those schools with the exact same name. One is in Michigan, and I thought they were playing the team from Michigan, but no, they were playing the team from California. And so I had to make a note on our little video there. But it's crazy that there's 2 teams in the country playing football, both called Community Christian College or Christian Community
Just
College.
like you just highlighted the 2 schools that are named St. Francis, Randy. Like,
right. Yes, but I've known about those 2. The only community Christian college I've known about was the one in Michigan. I didn't know there was a second one out in California. So whatever. But strangely enough, those 2 teams, Coastal or Community Christian College, they both played each other just the week before, and the team from Michigan won that game. So, little trivia for you there. All right. Anyway, a bonus score from junior college football was Iowa Western over Butler Community College, 31-7. All right, we're going to go up to Canada now. U Sports, which is their version of the NCAA. It was playoff time up there in Canada. It was the Loney Bowl, where the St. Mary's Huskies defeated the St. Francis Xavier X-Men 46-11. And in the 117th Yates Cup, it was the Queens Golden Gales over Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks 30-27. That sets up some games next week. The UTEC Bowl is going to be played between the Montreal Carabins at the St. Mary's Huskies, and the Mitchell Bowl is going to be the Queens Golden Gales versus the Saskatchewan Huskies. And those 2 teams, the winners of those 2 games, are going to advance to the 60th Vanier Cup on November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium in Regina, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And then finally, the championship game in Canadian Junior Football League action, the 117th CJFL Canadian Bowl saw the Saskatoon Hilltops improve to 11-0 with an undefeated season, defeating the Okanagan Sun 21-18. That drops Okanagan to 10-1. These were 2 10-0 teams that played each other for the championship at that level, and Saskatoon came out on top. So congratulations to them. And this is usually where we would show the X-League video from Japan by Greg St. James, and had a bit of a technical problem this week.
Yeah, I got the video and everything. I went to try to do my normal thing. I usually take his video. I just add our little awesome intro to it, and but it wouldn't save. There was like a little glitch in his video, which I didn't notice at first. So unfortunately, Greg, if you're watching or listening, that's why it's not up on the show today. And with a limited amount of time, that's also why I pushed the show back. I was trying to get it fixed, couldn't get it fixed. If we can get it fixed, we will try to post that on the YouTube channel like we normally do as its own standalone little thing.
Yep.
So apologize to everybody and to Greg. I was really excited to hear Greg this week because Veterans Day, and Greg serves as well. So
yep, he's a Navy veteran.
Yep. So a little upset that couldn't work out, but it's nobody's fault. It's just how it ended up this week. But the show's running long anyway, so maybe it's kind of a blessing in disguise because we only got a few things left to talk about, and then we'll let everybody go on and enjoy their Veterans Day. And I see Leonard's in the chat today. Hey there, Leonard. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So yeah, we'll just move on from X League. We'll try to figure out how to get that out there, whether we have to double down next week or I'll try to get that video up on its own. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to post it as a separate video in a day or so. Whether he has to resend it to you or what, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some news from the Arena Football 1. The Oceanside Bombers press conference is scheduled for tomorrow to officially announce the team, but they've already announced that Cree Morris has been named the team's head coach. He played in the NFL for the LA Raiders and the St. Louis Rams. He also played for the London Monarchs of NFL Europe, as well as the San Jose SaberCats and the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League. And I believe he was also the head coach of the AF2's San Diego Riptide for a while. So I'm sure we'll hear all about his credentials tomorrow at the press conference. And congratulations to him, and good luck to the Oceanside Bombers.
Yeah, this was a team that when we started hearing about, we were like, are they gonna? Is this a real thing? Is this a fake thing? There's a lot of them sharing the same arena as the San Diego Strike Force and the IFL. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. The press conference tomorrow should be very interesting. I hope they get asked all the questions and we get all the clarification to, settle down all the arena fanboys across the internet. Because, I mean, we're waiting on the schedule. We're waiting on the final teams list. And it just seems like the AF1 is just taking their sweet time and people on the internet are impatient. And I don't know. We'll get there, but I don't know. I'm as curious as everybody else, but I'll wait to hear what they have to say at their press conference tomorrow.
Okay. And then there's one story from the Arena League. They announced the addition of a new expansion team in Memphis, Tennessee, bringing the league back to 6 teams from for the 2026 season. We got the Minnesota Harbor, or Duluth Harbor Monsters came over, and they're now the Minnesota Monsters in the AF1. And the press release also says, if you can read that on the screen, that there will be a name the team contest to name the team, obviously. And the league is also planning to announce 2 more teams soon that will also play during the 2026 season. So, I thought they were going to stick with 6, after losing 1, but they're going to push forward and come back with 2 more teams in the next couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see where else they land teams.
Yep. Well, they've been very, very silent since the whole Harbor Monsters /Monsters departure. So I guess they're trying to get everything figured out. Memphis is interesting. I would like to enter this contest. My pitch for their team name, if you've seen my social media, I think the Memphis Pitmasters would be an awesome name for a Memphis, the Arena League team.
Well, our friend Trey had a little post to see what people thought the name should be. I first said the Memphis Hogzillas, and because it kind of goes with the arena. But I'm thinking now maybe the Memphis Elvi, have multiple Elvis impersonators as their mascot.
I think the Elvis thing is a little too on the nose. I think that, but if they could do it right, like, I don't know if I like the Memphis Kings. I don't know if I like the Memphis Rockers, but I think they could come up with something unique. I'd be behind it. If they could find the right thing, though, it'd be a lot of fun. Let's see here. Royce in the chat says, I know some Showboats fans who are excited to have a new team in town. So I'm sure. And look, I haven't been able to get to the Arena League game yet. Neither is Dad, obviously. But from what little I've watched, it seems like it'll be a good time. I think they're different from indoor and arena football enough to where I would have a good time with their specific special rule set and how they do their games. I don't want, I wish them the best. I know, we're very AF1, not loyal. Well, fairly loyal, but we love all football. I just want them all to do good and stay unique.
We've been associated with the Arena Football League, the AF1, since 2000. So that's 25 years of loyalty to one league. That's where our loyalties land. But we've been to indoor football league games. We've been to a lot of other games, CFL games. We love it all. We just like the arena football style a little bit better.
Yeah, but and that's not a knock on the other styles. Like I said, it's like going from NFL to CFL. All the different styles of football is what makes it awesome, and why we started the world of football, guys. So it's in the name. I never want to ever be called a AF1 shill, despite us having our own Michigan Arsenal show, which if you missed the beginning of the show, maybe I'll play that video again before we get out of here.
All right. And then finally, a little news out of the European Football Alliance. They are going to be adding 2 teams next year, one in London, England, and one in Milan, Italy. That's all we know right now. Just what you see on the screen is all we know. Is it going to be the London Monarchs? Is it going to be the England Monarchs, which they've used before over there? Is it going to be the return of the Milano Seamen? I know Adam would just love to have the Seamen back in the news. So we'll see. We'll see what they come up with names. But this is going to bring
Randy, I don't want Seamen back in the news.
Oh, no, you would. You'd love it. Let's see. But this is going to bring the new league up to 12 teams for 2026. No word on the old European League of Football. Is that still going to be a thing? There's a few teams out there that didn't jump to this new league. are they still under legal contract to the old league? And there's stories about that. It's a mess right now. But all I can tell you for sure is that they're planning to start a new league with 12 teams, 2 new ones. I don't know what's happening with the old league or some of the old teams. Like I don't think the Cologne Centurions or the Hamburg Sea Devils came over with all the other teams that came to this new league, and a few more. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Apparently, the offseason for European football has been just as head scratchy as offseason for indoor and arena football here in the States. So,
yep. Okay, so let's kind of start winding this show down here. Today's birthdays and anniversaries for November 11th. The first one is quarterback Mark Sanchez, turns 39 years old today. Played his college football at USC. Was selected with the 5th overall pick in the 2009 NFL draft by the New York Jets. Played 8 NFL seasons. He was with the Jets from 2009 to 2012. He was with the Eagles from 2014 to 2015. He was with the Cowboys in 2016 and the Washington Redskins in 2018. Oh, by the way, he was just fired by Fox Sports over his arrest for an altercation with a truck driver at 1 o'clock in the morning in Indianapolis. Happy birthday, Mark. That's all I can say, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder if they give birthday cake in prison.
With a file in it?
Is there a file? Yeah, I was gonna say maybe there's a file in it or not. But
yeah.
So before the show, I ran it by Ray. It's like, you are aware that Mark Sanchez was just in the news for stabbing somebody, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. That's why I added the thing at the end when I realized that.
Yeah. Yeah, when I actually first started writing his birthday thing, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that was the same player. So that's why I had to throw that in at the end. Yeah. The other birthday today. Let's move on from that. The other birthday today is that of Victor Cruz. He also turns 39, so they share the same birthday. He played his college football at Massachusetts, signed as a free agent with the Giants, and played 6 NFL seasons, all with the Giants. 2010 to 2014, and then again in 2016. And he won Super Bowl 46 with the team over the Patriots. So 6 seasons and get yourself a ring. So congratulations to him and happy birthday. Now we've got a number of obituaries this week. Normally, I try to keep it to no more than 4. We actually have 5 this week because there were more than that. I mean, there's several, but these, I couldn't really take any of them away. So we're going to just start these here. The first one is that of Marshawn Nealon, defensive end in the NFL for 2 seasons, dies of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound at the age of 24. Nealon played college football right here in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan University, was selected in the 2nd round of the 2024 NFL draft by the Dallas Cowboys. His last NFL game was against the Philadelphia Eagles just 2 days ago, and he recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown. It was the only touchdown of his career. So sad to hear about that. I don't know. Was it just some mental issues that he had? Was it is another case of CTE that nobody knew about? We don't know. We may not know for some time exactly what's going on.
I don't know. The stuff I've read, not very pleasant. I'll just leave it at that. We try not to go into all that, but it's a very sad story. And you said he did this 2 days ago. Obviously, the obituary was posted on November 6th. So,
well, just 2 days before he passed away, he was playing in a game and scored a touchdown.
Yeah. Just crazy sad. And I didn't realize he was a Western Michigan player there till, I saw Western repost something. I was like, oh, I guess I didn't realize that. The name sounded familiar to me, but I was like, why is it familiar? And it just escaped me. So thoughts and prayers to his family. That's just what a sad situation that one is.
Yeah.
All right. The next obituary. What's that?
No, I was just going to say, really, we've always said this before. When you got an obituary for somebody that's in their 20s, I mean, that's a sad obituary. Yeah. I like the happy obituaries where the guy is 95 years old, lived a great life, and ran a great race and dies at 95. But 24-year-old, no, that's just super sad.
Yeah, those are the ones as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh boy, I don't want to have to bring this up on the show, but that's what we do.
Yep.
All right, the next obituary comes is that of Woodrow Lowe, a linebacker in the NFL for 11 seasons, has passed away at the age of 71. Lowe played college football at Alabama and won a national championship in 1973. He was selected in the 5th round of the 1976 NFL draft by the San Diego Chargers. He played his entire career with the Chargers from 1976 to 1986. Lowe was inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 2001 and the College Football Hall of Fame in 2009.
All right, our next obituary is that of Keith Browner, a linebacker in the NFL, Canadian Football League, and in the Arena Football League, has passed away at the age of 63. Browner played college football at USC and was selected in the second round of the 1984 NFL Draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played for the Buccaneers from 1984 to 1986. He was with the Los Angeles Raiders and San Francisco 49ers in 1987, with the Chargers in 1988. He played for the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL and the Pittsburgh Gladiators of the Arena Football League, both in 1990. He was with the AFL's Tampa Bay Storm from 91 to 93, and he was with the Shreveport Pirates of CFL USA in 1994. He finished his playing career in the AFL with the Charlotte Rage in 1996 and the Arizona Rattlers in 1997.
All right, our next obituary is that of Paul Tagliabue, former commissioner of the NFL. He's passed away of heart failure complications by Parkinson's disease at the age of 84. Tagliabue succeeded Pete Rozelle and served as commissioner for 17 years from 1989 to 2006. So he was my first commissioner in my lifetime. So I've only had 2 commissioners in my life. During his time as commissioner, the NFL added 4 franchises: the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars in 1995, the present-day Cleveland Browns, which came into existence in 1999, and the Houston Texans in 2002, growing from 28 teams to 32. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a builder in 2020.
And our last obituary today is that of Charles Stormy Bidwell Jr., a former owner of the St. Louis Cardinals, has passed away at the age of 97. His father, Charles Sr., bought the team in 1933 and owned it until his death in 1947. His mother, Violet, took over the team until her death in 1962. Charles Jr. and his brother Bill then took over the team after that. Charles was a part owner of the team from 1962 to 1972 and then sold his share of the team to his brother Bill for $6.5 million. That's not bad when you can pay your brother that kind of money. Just here's a whole team. Just give me $6.5 million. But Bill was the one that moved the team to Arizona in 1988. So that's our obituaries for today. Finally, our upcoming events calendar. This Sunday, November 16th, the final international game of the year, the Commanders versus the Dolphins in Madrid, Spain, NFL Network, 9:30 a.m. And then also that day, later on that night, the 112th CFL Grey Cup game in Winnipeg, Montreal versus Saskatchewan. Man, that's going to be a good game. Saturday, the 22nd, 161st Lehigh versus Lafayette game at Lehigh. That's at the FCS level. On November 22nd, the same day, the 141st Harvard-Yale game at the Yale Bowl. And then Saturday, November 22nd, is going to be the 60th U Sports Vanier Cup in Regina. We'll find out who is going to be playing in that game after this weekend. And then finally, Saturday, November 29th, the 121st Michigan-Ohio State game at Michigan Stadium. And that's it for the upcoming events calendar.
All right. Whoops. And my bad. I was like reading notes and stuff, and I forgot to take the obituaries off the screen. So that's on me. Podcast listeners wouldn't have realized that. But if you're watching the show, my apologies. I was going through the script and looking at stuff. So,
all right. Anything that you saw on your phone pop up or on the internet?
It's just some more from the Antonio Brown drama. We didn't cover that on the show this week, but there's an ESPN alert about that. I'm sure if everybody's got ESPN on your phones, you saw the alert. So I guess I won't go into that. Jaguars cornerback wide receiver Travis Hunter will miss the rest of the season following knee surgery today. So the Heisman Trophy winner out for the rest of the year. Other than that, we do apologize to people on YouTube for the vertical horizontal debacle this week. Like I said, StreamYard just kind of threw that in my face right as I was trying to get the show together. And it's been, so we'll try to get that cleared up for next week. I don't know if I'll do a vertical thing. I don't know if I like it. Sounds like a lot of people use that today. So I don't know. If you didn't have a problem with it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be careful next week.
Yeah. Yeah. When I got into StreamYard today, all these new things popped up on the screen all over the place. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And they must have done an upgrade or they added some new stuff, and it was all Greek to me. I didn't know what was going on. And then I finally
Yeah.
realized that, oh, you can do either landscape or portrait now. And I'm like, who cares? I just like what we've been doing. Don't mess with it.
Okay, well, in the chat, we appreciate it. C-Dog says it was a great stream. And Dale says his stream was fine. He's watching on YouTube right now. Also, again, thank you, Randy, for serving. And to all of our veterans out there. That's right. For those of you, if you missed the beginning of the show, I'll throw this picture back up, Randy. Thank you for your service, Dad. Appreciate it. And all the other men and women out there that have served this country. And the other thing I guess I can mention, if you also missed the beginning of the show, we'll play it one more time by the popular demand of myself, because I like looking at it. And not to Tim Capper, who pointed out that if you're a 12-year-old, you can make the title of the show sound really inappropriate. I still like the name of the show. If you missed it, our announcement was that we will be doing a show with the Michigan Arsenal right back here, covering the team, doing, I don't want to say exclusive, but we'll pretty much exclusive interviews with the coach and staff members, and just allowing fans to kind of get more of an inside peek at the team. And I will play our little teaser again right now. Inside the Arsenal, coming to a YouTube channel near you sometime this weekend, depending on how schedules work out. We are also waiting to hear back from someone we're supposed to interview tonight for that show. So we'll see. We'll get it all worked out. And by the weekend, guys, you should have the first first edition of Inside the Arsenal. Very excited to talk about this Arsenal team, where they're going. There's been a lot of transactions on the AF1 website too for the team. So slowly building that roster. And it's been really great getting to know Coach Liotta and George Bradford. They've been really awesome to us. So we can't thank them enough for the opportunity for the world of football to partner with them to put a show like this together. So,
all right. Well, that's all the time we got for this week, folks. Don't forget to check out the World of Football merchandise at teepublic.com. That's teepublic.com for the latest in football-related t-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store. And remember, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than us two guys sitting here in Kalamazoo talking about all things football. Join us again next week when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Impossible. I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm Adam Snow. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks again for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the show are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are available. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links in the episode description below. Be sure to subscribe to the World of Football on YouTube for more great football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @TheWorldOfFootball to find us. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription really does help us out, and we appreciate you for that support. We hope to see you again next time.